probably again, like if you start small, and right, it's like I kind of always just seen like extreme mountain biking. I've never
Yeah.
seen kind of like, I've never seen like the getting into it type phase. And so I'm just like, there's just biking along in the city, that's easy, or like up and over crazy boulders and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a good time. Okay. So active theme is gonna kind of be introduced in our Sun A. So we have a little sequence to get started here. So we'll start in a preparing that we're going to come into a child's pose, but not quite yet. Big toes come together to touch. Good. Resting that bolster right up onto your upper thighs. And then today, if you want kind of like a more energetic practice, you'd put your right hand on top of your left, thumbs touching. If you are already having like a busy morning, up in the mind a lot, kind of want to ground down a little more, it would be considered like left over right as you close your eyes. And so as we move today, I mean, you know that I'm always trying to, find our hip in some type of anatomical neutral. But sometimes we get stuck on that. Like it has to be like that all the time. And since I know that you know how to find it, I want you to just play around a little bit this morning with making sure, however your pelvis is tilting, wherever your ribs are, wherever the position of your head is, that actually feels good, that's comfortable in your body. With the awareness on your left nostril, inhale left, thinking up to your third eye, and then just following that breath down the right side of the nose, exhaling. Inhale right, up towards the third eye, exhale left. And then inhale both, merging together at the peak, and exhale both. As your eyes blink open, we're going to take our bolster. We're going to kind of like smash it down against our femur bone. Try to use that to lift the rib cage, extend up and out of the low back, and then round forward. And hey, actually, do you have a block handy there? Are you able to reach one? Get them both? Yeah, good. Yeah. And then you just might like that block positioned right at that sixth chakra, third eye, and letting the rest of the body soften. And I know it can be a little uncomfortable. We're just trying to kind of, in a way, force the breath or encourage the breath to go a little bit more into the low back and into the kidney area here. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Dropping the weight of the head so you can soften the neck and shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. You're going to sit up one more time. Hold your hands, touch your thumbs, find that mudra. And then hopefully enjoy that now the breath should feel like much, much easier. One more time, Anadi Shodhana, inhaling left. Grounding down as you exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale both. Exhale both. As your eyes blink open, slide the bolster off to the middle of your mat out in front of you. Bring your tricep up onto the bolster. Palms gently pressing. And then maybe you can again lower your forehead down onto the bolster. Stay in child's pose for just a few more breaths here. Should be a little bit more space for the expanding and contracting of your ribs. Soft opening through the armpits, through the triceps. Inhale. Exhale. Come up through center, planting the hands on the bolsters. Depending if you feel the need to, you could take your knees a little bit wider. We're going to keep the right hand where it is. Slide by flipping your left palm. Slide that left hand in front of your right knee. You can extend and reach that right arm forward towards the top of your mat. Feel from your right hip stretching forward through your right fingertips and space through side body. And then keep everything the same as you bring the back of the right hand to the outside edge of the left hip, pressing the hips gently to the left. As you start to move through the thoracic spine, this place where I've been feeling a lot of stiffness, pressing down through the back of my left hand and my outer left shoulder. Feeling if that makes some space around your scapula, your shoulder blade. Inhale. Exhale, release that right hand, unthread left arm back up through center. Inhale. And then change sides. Thread that right hand under. Start by reaching and extending left arm. Right? Yeah, that bolster is like never really in the perfect spot there. And I do try to like stick, and it's kind of nice. I'm in a t-shirt, but like you might even feel like your own skin can kind of drag against the sticky mat, giving you something to work against. Open. Inhale. Exhale, take the top left arm, reach it around, press the hand into the outer right hip. And see if by using the floor, you could even almost like round a little bit more into the upper back. See if that stretches a little bit of the inner border of that right shoulder blade, and then try to roll open a little more. Inhale. Exhale. Unthread that left arm as you come back up through center, and then go ahead and let your knees come together to touch, and we'll just remove that bolster off to the side for a moment. Okay. With your knees together now, let your hips slide off to the left. Good. And then left hand outside edge of right knee, right fingertips back behind you to twist. And then once you've twisted your rib cage as far as you can, go ahead and let that left arm come up and over on that diagonal. So it's just a slightly different feeling for me, Claire, than when we go to a straight lateral side bend. I feel a little bit more through the front of the hip here. Inhale. Exhale, release. Back up and over the heel. Dropping over to the right. Okay. I take my right hand outside edge of that left knee, get a little bit more torque to twist. And then by reaching back with the left hand, lengthen and extend. Right arm. Okay. Pushing through those right ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Final one here, sitting up onto your heels. Fingertips come onto your shoulders. Make 3 big forward circles out and around. Good. And then when the elbows come together, do 3 big backward circles. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let your arms extend out. Internally roll your shoulders as much as you can, round into your upper back. Fingertips come together and see if you can snuggle that up the mid back. Inhale, anteriorly tilt your pelvis, extend your spine, open up the connective tissue on the front body, and then see if you can imagine going up and over that bolster as you extend forward into your child pose. Right? Maybe you're feeling how like tightness in the hip, in the side body, that fossa connective tissue goes all the way up into the shoulders. Chicken wing the elbows up, broaden across your collarbones. Inhale. Exhale. Roll back up through your spine, heavy head, balancing the ears directly over your shoulders. And then release your hands, shifting forward, tuck your toes under, toe stands. Good. And I do try to bring like my ankles and knees together here just to put and I push back, right? Until I really feel grounded through all 10 toes. Come up to center, interlace the hands behind the back of your head. And 3 rounds, getting a little bigger every time for that place that it feels good. Tap, tap. Tuck, maybe a little squeeze of the glutes to lift those frontal hip points away from your thighs as you round in. Continue, open. Pulling on the webbing of the fingertips to our fingers to widen the elbows, tucking in for 2. Good, one more, inhale. Exhale. Okay, as you come back up to center, we're gonna keep this. Step your right foot forward. Good, extend your arms, Ali Mudra. From here, get about as neutral in the pelvis as you can, but then sink into the lunge here, Claire, and go ahead and really let the anterior tip in as you drive forward through that right knee. Now this is going to be our inhale, and then we're going to pull our hips back, tuck in around, and try to touch the floor, chin to chest as you exhale. Follow that movement 2 more times. Inhale, and I am just going to sink a little bit because it does let my rib cage move more. Exhale, round in, chin to chest, pushing from the upper back down through the fingertip. Good, one more inhale, Kali Mudra. And exhale, round in here. Good. Plant the hands at the top of your mat as you step back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Big toes come together to touch. Heels lift, knees drop. Sit back onto your toes, toe stand. And second side, interlace the fingers, maybe change the webbing. 3 more on your own. Sometimes just like anterior extension of my spine just like feels good, right? It's like, go ahead, move into that space. It's like, as long as we know, hey, we all have kind of like our own anatomical alignment, enjoying the mobility of your body instead of sometimes always just containing it. 1 more. Good. Giving space through the front of the spine and stretching out some of that tension that we hold in the back of the neck and the upper back. Come back up to center. Lift up to your 90-90 kneeling. Find neutral here. Kali Mudra. And then sink into that front knee, pushing from the back toes. Inhale. Exhale. Think like a cat here. Side waistline back. Really feeling maybe that left hamstring fire up. Continue. Inhale. Right? And what makes me feel that left hamstring is pulling the back knee and the front heel forward. Stabilizing. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Round. And on this last one, maybe kind of like push the fingertips even into the floor. Good. Get that extra stretch. Planting your palm. Step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, big toes come together to touch, back of your mat. Lifting through the core of your right heel, press that right heel up and back, three-legged down dog. And then exhale, step right foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. Good. Lower that back left knee down. Yep, and then shift your hips back, coming into your anatomical neutral. Okay, a little bit of right hamstring, a lot of left glute. Inhale your arms up, right hand back, left hand forward. Circle that right arm down and around. Inhale up, lift up out of your low back, right hand back, twist. One more. Inhale, square everything off, stacking the ears, the shoulders, the hips. Right hand back. Now with that right hand back, keep pressing your hips forward. Right hand reaches towards left heel. Cutting that left arm up and over on the diagonal. Great. My hips want to shift forward because of tightness. I pull through that right heel, tuck the tailbone, and extend back. As you cartwheel your hands to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank pose. Exhale, bend elbows, lower slow to the belly. Inhale again, stretching up from the abdominals, pubic bone really heavy, maybe even kind of dragging the pubic bone forward on the mat. As you step back, downward facing dog. Enjoy a full inhale. Long exhale. Big toes come together to touch. From the back of that left heel, inhale, lift, left leg, three-legged down dog. Step your left foot forward, lunge. Good. Back knee down, dragging your right knee a little bit forward on the mat. Shift the hips back, anatomical neutral. Good. I like to reach my arms straight forward. It keeps me a little bit softer on the side of the neck as I stretch up, pushing down through the knee as long as it's not too bruised up. And then left arm back, right arm forward. Sink in with your breath. Inhale, lift. Up and out of that front right hip. Exhale, twist. Last one, please. Inhale. Ears, shoulders, hips. Reach. Twist. Keep all of that. Left hand reaches towards that back right heel. And right arm cuts on your diagonal. Pull left heel, engage, squeeze right glute. Inhale. Exhale, hands plant onto the mat. Press back, downward facing dog, just feeling there. Lift heels. Inhale, shift forward. Sometimes I like to feel like I'm balancing a stick on my sacrum, the back of the heart, the back of the skull, straight line, and then lower down in one piece, kind of balancing that stick. Pull the hands back, pubic bone forward. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, stretch back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe from last week, remembering like lift the toes. See if by engaging more through the front body, you release the back body. Step the feet forward, hip width distance apart. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Hands to hips, elbows up, half flat back. Lift to rise. And then fold the hands in front of your heart center, closing your eyes. Knowing what neutral feels like or where it is, but where your body can rest comfortably. Okay. So my meditation teacher, who talks about the 4 medicines of meditation. And the first one is the first like medicine that we take is concentration. Find your home base, whether it's your breath or something steady you want to keep your eyes on. And then as you release your hand, follow that concentration. Inhale, arms up, reach. Exhale, fold in. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Step back, top of your push-up. Balance that imaginary stick from the hips to the back of the head. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, like evenly bending the curve of the spine. And send your hips up and back. Down dog. Okay, so for some reason today, I feel like keeping my eyes open. So I'm going to concentrate on a spot right in between my feet, fixing my drishti. And enhance your ability to concentrate. Keeping your focal point. Inhale. Exhale. Step forward, top of your mat. Follow your breath to finish the sun salute. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Remember kind of going up and over that bolster as you round in. This time, circle your arms around and up. Lift all the way to rise. Look up, see thumb. Exhale, pulling the thumbs down to the heart. Find your connection. Second vitamin. Clarity, right? So when I'm not concentrated, things in my life seem kind of cloudy, out of focus. Right? Maybe now we can kind of like feel where like the root, like the stem of our like discomfort arises from. Release your hand. Inhale, arms up, reach. Second vitamin, folding and being clear about your movement. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Ardha Uttanasana, keep that. Top of your push-up plank to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Adho. And so what I mean by clarity is that I obviously see everything through like the lens of my experience, my perspective. And one of the benefits of yoga and meditation, right, is maybe that thing that we think is so bad. Maybe if you look at it, it's really not. I love that Jerry Seinfeld said that the only things in his life that like he would never want to erase are actually like his failures, right? They taught him the most. So sometimes we need to get some clarity around what we're experiencing. Inhale, exhale. Step forward to the top of your mat as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Circle the arms around and up, lift to rise, thumb press, pinky side of the hand comes together, thumbs to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Third round, equanimity. And equanimity means that we stay neutral. It's that idea of just practicing acceptance wherever you are in your mind or body today. Release your hands. Continue. Inhale, reach. Exhale, deep fold. Stretching the rib cage forward, up and out over the legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Stepping back. Use your exhale breath to lower slow. Inhale. Finding the rotation of the pelvis that's going to release the front of the spine the most as you step back, down dog. about acceptance. Like some days I wake up sore or stiff or tired in the body or really distracted in the mind. Not trying to resist it, instead, like working with it, being patient, finding that equanimity as you hold, even breathing. Inhale, exhale. Finish your vinyasa as you step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Arms are rounded up as you lift to rise. And then exhale, hands to the heart center. Now fold your hands over your heart, Claire. And the last medicine is whatever we're doing, whether it's yoga and or meditation, through this process of finding our home base, clarity, equanimity, acceptance, practice some self-care. Move through this last one in a way that just really feels good. Release your hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale back, top of your push-up, elbows in, use your triceps. I do play with the rotation of my pelvis a little bit here, using my glutes a little to see if I can open more through the front of the pelvis. And then hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. How's the breath in the back body into the side body as you exhale? In. Good. Floating the breath up around those kidneys. High bend. One more. Inhale. I think you can brighten those sitting bones up just a little bit more. Clarity. Good. Feet together, top of your mat. Just like to put this all together a little faster, slow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sit down and back into your Utkatasana. Okay, so they're like always being like super correct in the ribs, in the hips, and the shoulders. See where you could land here, no tension in the neck. Hands to heart, left elbow, outside edge of right knee. Let the breath deepen your twist. Inhale. Exhale, fold out over your leg. Ooh, Tanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Left foot, step back into your lunge. The only thing I really want you to focus on in the lunge is right that like hamstring contraction on the right side. See how it starts to set your pelvis as you lift up, high lunge. Inhale, no tension around the neck. Right hand back, left hand forward twist. Continue to circle. Inhale, open, look for space. Exhale, circle back two. Maybe the gaze follows that back thumb. Finding your concentration. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale as you twist open, arrange the pelvis so that you feel stretched. And then right hand outside edge of the strong left thigh. Reach back on your diagonal. Yeah, I like to touch that hamstring and like see if I can feel like it's strong as I reach up and out. Hand to the mat. You can always float that right leg so if you want as you move through your chaturanga. Yep, full vinyasa there as you push your hips up and back. And on certain days, I need more of one vitamin or medicine than the other. And some days it's a lot more about like self-care. Inhale. Exhale, empty, empty, empty. Front rib pull them in just a little bit. Step your feet forward, top of your sticky mat. Second side, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low, chair pose. Twist. Right elbow, left knee. Give yourself space. If I'm really trying to focus on like that idea of like some self-care, maybe I don't sit as deep today. Or maybe I just want to practice equanimity, even if there's a little bit of a burn or a lot of sensation. Fold out over your leg. Ooh, Tanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Good. Right foot steps back, lunge. I think right foot. Yep, there you go. Turn on that left hamstring. Lift to rise, high lunge. Inhale. Left hand back, right hand forward. Exhale, broaden through your upper back, reaching through fingertips. Swing that arm back up and around. Inhale. Yep. How does it feel good in the pelvis? How does it feel good in your low back? Stabilizing to put the twist into your upper back. One more. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, twist. Keep all of that. Left hand outside edge of right thigh. Yes, exactly. I'm gonna push my hand as I widen my right hip to the right. So I push my hips a little bit to the right, ribs to the right, up and over. Hands to the mat. One-legged plank. To your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. Is there anything that you need more of? I think you're kind of drinking that medicine in. Look forward. Hop, step, or float your feet forward, top of your sticky mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Tip into the toes. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low, chair pose. Okay, again, left elbow outside edge of right knee. This time I'm going to take my right thumb to my right hip crease, pull it back, stay long through side body, and then maybe you can reach those left fingertips down, right arm up. And for me, this is a huge, creates a lot of leverage to create a huge opening as I press my shoulders back through the midrib. Inhale. Exhale. Unwind, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Left foot, step back, lunge. Lift to rise, high lunge. Right hand back, left hand forward. I'm going to put a lot of awareness in the hips. How do I need them to be to feel opening? Right hand outside edge of left thigh. Pushing my hips and my ribs more to the left as I reach up and over to the right. Come back up through center, high lunge. Back heel spins to flat. Open up, warrior two. Right, supporting the pose with the power of the hamstring, power of the glutes. Good. Back hand on the back thigh, reverse your warrior. And then shift forward, Ardha Chandrasana. Yes, good. Think like someone's almost like grabbing you by your left ankle, pulling it back. Feel what type of pelvic rotation. So for me, a ton of posterior touch here actually really feels like it's strengthening my hip joint, and it really opens the lateral side of my left hip more. Anterior tilt feels gooey and back bendy. And meat back. I agree. Downward facing dog. Good job. Let's flow through a vinyasa. Inhale, reconnect to concentration. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. What rotation of the pelvis is going to open the anterior part of your body the most? Maybe even the quadriceps, the hip flexors. And hip stretch up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, get gooey, get stretchy. Exhale. Step or jump top of your sticky mat. Inhale, lengthen, open. Exhale, fold in. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low, chair pose. Second side, twist. And then I need a little help by putting that left thumb in my left hip crease, drawing it back. Right fingertips down, left arm up. Expand your wings here. Pushing your hips to the right as you turn your ribs to the left. Trying to stack that left lung more and more and more on top of the right lung, tucking it under. Fold in here. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Right foot, step back, lunge. Lift to rise, high lunge. Twist, opening to the left. I pull my elbows, my wrists, my fingertips away from each other. They call it exalted warrior. It's a little bit different from reverse warrior. Up and out of right hip. Come back to center. High lunge. Heel it open as you spin your back heel to flat, warrior two. So today, I think for me, it's just about acceptance that my entire body hurts. Everything feels stiff. But knowing that as I hold, as I get a little bit warmer, right, it's a good form of self-care. Back hand on the back thigh. Reverse your warrior, light through that back hand. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to shift forward. Final standing pose. Ardha Chandrasana. Maybe encouraging you. Do anterior tilt. Sometimes I love that back bendy, gooey. My leg drops behind me. Sometimes I like a lot of posterior tuck. Leg moves forward. And then I can really stretch out through the top part of that right hip. Inhale. Exhale. Step back, knee back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, hips lift, Adho Mukha. Okay. With your feet staying at the back of your mat, you're going to start to walk backwards. I'm going to grab the bolster on the way. Yep. And then as I bend my knees, I'm going to tuck it right up into the tops of my thighs. Try to stretch up and over. Grab opposite arm, opposite elbow. You could release your hands, Claire, whatever feels. I'm not even going to say comfortable because it's very uncomfortable. But I know it's good for freeing up the fascia on the back body and the neck. Maybe some exhales, sometimes out through the mouth. Can help to alleviate some of that pressure. Inhale. Big breath, exhale. Release the bolster. Walk it out. Downward facing dog. And usually it feels so much better. Right foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Slide your right foot back about a block distance, Claire. Pivot, turn to the pinky edge side of your left foot, turning your right toes open. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And then reach and expand right arm over your right ear. Okay, so I have a tendency to roll a little bit to the pinky edge side of that right foot, tucking the left hip under. Check what feels right in your hips to give you the most opening. And then lower your left hip down towards the floor, reaching your arm back. 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Gazes back at the thumb. Drishti concentration. 1 more. Inhale, press up. Side body, side body. And exhale, left hip all the way down. Turn to the back of your mat. Ardha Gomukhasana. Holding the foot or holding the ankle. Remember the bolster at the belly. Stretch up and over. And then fold in here. If it helps to concentrate, you could do your Nadi Shodhana. Then we're going to stay low and we're going to bring the left elbow towards the outside edge of that right knee. Using it then to maybe walk more and more towards the right. I'll even push some weight back into my left hip. And try to lengthen and extend out from there. Inhale. Exhale. Hands walk back up to center. We'll turn out over that left shoulder. Planting your hand. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot steps forward just to give you the wide, long base. And then left foot drags back about a block distance. Pivot, turn, supported Vatsisthasana. Left arm over left ear. Play with the rotation in your hips, in your ribs. Right hip lowered. Reach back. Inhale, lift. Exhale. One of the very few poses that I would say sink into that right shoulder. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale as that right hip sinks. Ardha Gomukhasana, back of your mat. Oh, I think it's finally starting to loosen up. Top knee presses down. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. The bottom of your next exhalation. You want to take that right elbow to the outside edge of your left knee. And just a good kind of cue to like lock into your mind when you're practicing. Like whenever we're like side bending or like reaching the stuff out on the diagonal, it's always good to push your hip in the opposite direction. Back up through center. And as you look out over right shoulder, plant palms. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. How bright can you get the sitting bones? Yeah, good. Yeah, there we go. Walk the feet forward, top of your mat. Bend your knees, sitting bones to heels as you squat down. Hips to the mat, and then stretch your legs to straight as you push your bum back. Paschimottanasana, holding onto the pinky edge sides of your feet. Yep. We're not going to put the bolster there, but I am going to try to lengthen up and over it. Focus on pelvic rotation first. So here I definitely want to make sure that I'm getting that kind of anterior rotation, not squeezing of the front of the hip joint as you fold in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift back up to center. And then we're going to finish a little bit more in a restorative pose, Claire. So take your heels out to the wide corners of your mat as you lie down. And we're going to take banana off. Yeah. Yep, so as you lie all the way down, take your right ankle, cross it over your left ankle. Take your arms up overhead. Left hand grabs right wrist. And then I always pick up my upper back and head, move it more to the left side of the mat. Check the pelvis. Sometimes it's like not right or wrong. It's just like, where could you get more softening? For me, like I have a lot of control actually over my pelvis. I don't have a lot of control in my rib cage. It's actually somewhere, sometimes that's where I need to put my focus. And that's also probably the reason why I keep a lot of tension in my neck, because my ribs aren't usually correctly supporting the joint above. One minute here. Okay, just about done on this side. There's kind of anything left in that fascia, the connective tissue, lengthen it out, and then come into a very neutral Shavasana. Maybe even like kind of moving your ribs, moving your hips, seeing where they just kind of would naturally want to land. And then final side, left ankle over right. Right hand grabs left wrist. And maybe it's just more concentration on that home base of your breath. Finish class. Opening up. Shavasana. Inhale. Exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms up and over. Bending your knees as you roll to the right and press up to find your hands folded in front of your heart center. So, right, there is a little bit more to our yoga practice than just like the longer hamstrings. It's all these other kind of the daily taking of in the concentration, getting more clarity, equanimity, and like that really self love, caring for yourself, right? It just opens up our kind of the full, total, holistic wellness, well being. Taking your thumbs to your third eye, the bow forward, and seal your practice. Jai, Siddhasana, Jai.